Are you live yet? Oh, sick.
I'll unmute my mic. What's going on? You're coming here to talk
Oh,
some
wait.
prospect.
Okay, this is the casting channel.
This is the
Okay.
casting channel. You hopped into
Whoopsies.
this. You can go hop into manager if you want to help them. I showed
Yeah.
Jacob how to use the sheet, so you can help out with that.
Okay, okay.
That'll be good.
Cheers.
All right, see ya.
Later.
All right, what's going on, everybody? We are about to get this bad boy underway. The Prospect League draft going down just a minute here. Obviously, let's get our last managers in here, getting things ready to go. But yeah, should be super exciting. Let me know how this music is. I think it's quiet enough, or well, hopefully loud enough that you can hear it, but not too loud. Hoping everything's all good there on my end. Just set this thing up. I got some cool overlays going on for the stream. If you guys aren't already, make sure you guys are in the Discord, following along. Prospect draft. You should be able to view it now. Let's head over here first. So, taking a look here, this is the draft order for tonight. You can see the picks out here. Valan with the first overall pick in the Prospect League draft, followed by Velocity, Vikings, Origin, Viper, Rooks, Wyverns, and Tora. So this is kind of a look at what we're going to be seeing tonight. You can see the ticker up on the top. I'll be updating that as the stream goes on to show you who's picked by who. So if you guys miss any picks, you'll be able to see it on the top, or you can check the Discord channel as always. But without any further ado, I think we might as well get this bad boy underway. So here you can see what we got for round one. I just went over a couple of the picks. So Valan will be on the clock here very shortly. You can see this middle left column here. That is the players that are still available to be drafted. And then you can see over there on the right, those are the teams and the MMR caps that are still remaining. Hopefully that's good enough quality for you guys to see. I worked quite a bit trying to get this thing all to work out, and it looks like it's pretty solid right now. So, like I said, without any further ado, I'm gonna go get some stuff going in the chat here. And I guess I should narrate what I'm doing as I go. I mean, I don't know. I was hoping that someone else would have hopped in here, but welcome, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Season 1 Prospect League Draft. I've got a copy paste here, so tonight it's kind of interesting copy paste. So tonight, sorry, I'm trying to copy paste this over. I'm trying to do two things at once here. Tonight, our Prospect League draftees will begin their quest for Nemesis glory. So this is where everybody is starting out. So you got 8 teams, 32 players. Let's get this bad boy underway. And we are going to start off by putting Valan on the clock, I believe. They are the first overall pick. So who will Valan pick? So Valan is now on the clock. Hopefully my keyboard isn't too loud here. So Valan is now on the clock, ready to make their first selection of the draft. So we'll be waiting anxiously to see. I'm sure they've been thinking about it for a while. You can obviously see, we see Case 35 leading us off at 1325 MMR, followed closely behind by Ego at 1324. So I got a good couple people up there high in the draft pool here. As you guys can see already, Anonymous, who's a GM, gets auto put onto his team. So he's already been added to his team there. So he'll still be selecting the first round. That just takes over his 4th pick. You can see the cap space has gone down. So each team has, for all 4 of their players added together, they have to stay under the cap of 46.25. So GMs have to be careful with who they're picking. Oh, and we see the first pick is coming out here. Unique and Valan are going to be taking Caden P87 is the first pick of the draft here. So let me go ahead to this ticker. So Caden P87 is the first pick of the draft. So congrats to Caden going first overall. Good for him there. So with that being said, so Caden goes number 1 overall. We will head on to Velocity now. I'll be on the clock. Looks like I'm being joined by Jacob. What's going on?
What's going on, everybody? This is exciting.
Dude, I know. I'm super hyped. I'm super hyped to see what's going on. I'm gonna put Velocity on the clock here.
See all the support and love.
Velocity's now on the clock. So Velocity, let's see. So I know Jacob is actually GM. So we got 2 of the GMs in the call here. So if you guys aren't aware, me and Jacob are both GMs here in this league. Since we expanded to 8 teams, we decided to come take on some of that little extra duty here and help out with some teams. So
Yeah, I'm excited to meet some of these players and really work with them. This is going to be fun for Nemesis and all players involved.
for sure, yeah, I'm super excited to see where you go. Have you, Jacob? Have you looked? I know you don't want to give away your strategy too much here, but have you looked at any of these players? Anyone that you were thinking about stands out so far?
So I've done a little bit of research, not much. I don't have my eye on any particular player. You know, I think that all of these players are going to have potential. Um, but you know, I'm at the end of the day, I think what it's going to come down to is who I just feel most comfortable with, based on what I've seen so far. And you know, if changes have to be made in the season, I guess they will. But you know, I feel pretty confident. How about you?
Dude, I've definitely got my eyes on some people. I'll talk about that in a second. We actually just got our second pick right in. Punicorn is going to second overall to Velocity and
Uh,
Anonymous. They're going to take Punicorn. Second overall pick. He was a little bit lower on here. He's 1193, so obviously Anonymous, he's already on his own team, so he's looking for players that he can participate with and possibly make a solid team with. So he's going down the list a little bit. Selected Punicorn. Obviously, he's probably talked to him a little bit, so they probably had that whole thing sorted out. So Puny is gonna go second overall, and that will bring us to our third pick. So Vikings, and I believe this is Hypernova, will now be on the clock.
Curious to see who Hypernova picks.
Yeah, for sure. So, anyways, yeah, back to what I was saying though, or when you were asked the question you asked me about who, if I've had my eyes on some people. So I have done a little bit of research here
Okay.
to see who I'm looking at. The guy I'm looking at for my first overall pick. I am fourth here in the draft with Origin. The guy who I'm looking at for my fourth overall pick is still on the board. So
Okay.
I'm hoping Hypernova doesn't go with the snipe here and take my guy, but I got my first pick all lined up, and then a little bit down the list, I've scouted out a couple of people, but and once you kind of later in those later rounds, you have to have a lot of people on your radar, because you never know when someone's gonna get taken, and kind of mess
Oh
up your
yeah.
whole draft plan.
You got to have a backup, especially in something like this. It's dog eat dog right now. You know, we got to have our backups.
For sure. Yeah, especially in those later rounds. Like I was saying, you get down to that fourth round, you're kind of left with whoever is there, and hopefully
Oh
you
yeah.
develop some relationships with some of these people, so you kind of get a feel for a little bit about these people. But sometimes
Absolutely.
sometimes you're kind of stuck with who you got. But I mean that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, no. You know, just because somebody's not picked right away doesn't mean that they are not good or not worthy. You know, some of the best players that I've seen come from drafts are later round picks. You know, and some might even argue that they have a little bit more to work for because they weren't picked first, and so they work harder to prove that they should have been on that first pick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, these people, a lot of the times, like you said, we don't know them, so they got to build a name for themselves, and especially with the first inaugural season here, they don't really have a way to make a name for themselves quite yet. So there could always be those hidden gems that fall down later in the draft. So even if you fall down to fourth round, that doesn't mean necessarily that you're gonna be stuck as a sub. Because I know a lot of GMs, there's always gonna be competition and always a possibility for you to, you know, move up on the roster and gain a starting spot.
Absolutely.
So we're waiting on the Vikings pick here. I'm not sure. I believe that's Hypernova. Not quite sure. I don't know where Hypernova is. He's offline right now. I might shoot him a message. See what's going on. So we'll see if Hypernova can get in here. We'll give him a minute or two here. Hopefully, give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh yeah.
Maybe something came up, but if not, we're gonna have to go with the default, which is taking the highest MMR pick if he does not respond in a short time. But it might not be a bad idea. I mean, obviously, you see with the expanse of the league that we have, ranging from Diamond 1 to Champ 2. So this is our most widely spread out league, which
Oh yeah.
we had to work through some stuff. We had so many players register from Champ 3 up to Grand Champ. I believe there was, I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but I think it was somewhere close to 70 players were champ 3 and up. Maybe not 70 exactly, but at least 60 and up, I'm sure, were champ 3 and up. So it really stretched out our leagues here because obviously 32 players in each league, it kind of leaves us with, what we have, and it's kind of spread out. But the thing is, with it being all spread out like that, it gives a lot of opportunity for these lower MR players to learn from those higher guys.
Oh yeah, I think that a lot of these guys need to go in with an open mindset. Obviously some of these guys are going to be better than others, and instead of going into it super upset or uptight or something to prove, relax and learn a thing or two from some of these more seasoned players.
Yeah,
I
definitely,
100% agree with you.
definitely. So I think
This might
Hypernova.
have been his strategy.
It might have been a
Highest MMR player.
strategy.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
this was the strategy.
I mean, honestly, Case is not a bad pick here. Highest MMR guy, literally the top you can get in this league. He was the highest. The highest MMR is 1325. So, cause Hypernova, we'll give him about 30 more seconds. If he doesn't respond, then we're gonna probably have to auto draft for him. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see. But I'm not opposed to that because I mean, Case was not my top guy. I was expecting Case to go, being the highest MMR guy anyways. With a couple of teams in front of me. So I'm the fourth pick here. I've got my eye on someone.
I
So
also have my eye on somebody. This is getting
hoping
down to it.
hoping someone doesn't get snatched. So yeah, Jacob over here down at the eighth pick. Yeah, I actually get
On
back to
Torah.
back. Yeah, back to back with Tora, which is kind of, it's an interesting strategy to go about, having that
Oh yeah.
eighth pick back to back.
I have my eye on two players. Obviously, with me going back to back, I'm gonna have to pick twice in a row. So I have my eye on two specific players, and it's I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not Case. It's not the highest, but I think these players are really solid players based off of what I've learned from them.
Yeah, fair enough. So I think Hypernova is not here for now. He still has a chance. His pick isn't until down the line, but we're gonna have to auto draft for him just so we can keep this draft a little bit moving. Hopefully nothing serious came up for Hypernova.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. But
Especially during these testing times with coronavirus and everything. It's
yeah,
it's crazy right now.
yeah, it is pretty crazy. So hopefully all goods for Hypernova. Hopefully just got a little bit lost at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe the time zone off or something, but hopefully he'll see and he'll come back. So we're gonna auto select. So Vikings will select Case 35 is going third overall to the Vikings. So
Congratulations, Case.
it's Case going third overall pick. They're not bad. So that will just about put me on the clock here as I'm gonna update this ticker.
Origin. Time to see who he
Origin.
picks.
Yeah, so I guess I'll put myself on the clock here. But yeah, like I said, I've had my eye on somebody, and they are still here, which is this is what I like to see, that they're still available. So without any further ado, I am going ahead and I'm going to select Lancer with my
Lancer.
Lancer with my first overall pick. So Lancer, welcome to the team. I'll send you the Discord over a little bit later, but for now, this will have to do.
I'm surprised. Lancer. Okay.
Lancer, yeah, I went a little bit down the list. I mean, this is what I was talking about. I had to think about it. You had to think about it a little bit. If there's four teams above me, and we already knew about Anonymous, I had to kind of look down the list. I talked to Lancer a little bit. I knew a good bit about him, so um, yeah,
Oh yeah.
he's my pick there.
Absolutely. These, all of us GMs, it's kind of like a game of chess. Who are we going to pick? We have to keep in mind that our picks may get picked. So, backup, and we have to have these plans. It's quite an interesting little game we have going on here.
Definitely. So yeah, Lancer going fourth overall to Origin here.
Viper on the clock now. Let's see who Viper picks.
Yeah, this is the Chipmunk Man's team. So
Chipmunk.
I know I've seen a little bit from Chipmunk. Is that he's been a little bit recruited. I've seen his Discord. His Discord server is all set up. So I've seen a little bit from him. I don't know. I didn't pay too much attention to it because I didn't really feel that it was fair for me to try to like either snipe his picks or
Oh yeah.
do all that. But I know Chipmunk, he's been really active, and I know he's got some great ideas for who he's going to try to select here. So I'm definitely curious as to where he's going to go.
Yeah, I have not known Chipmunk for too long, but from what I've heard, he's a dedicated guy. He knows what he's looking for, and I wouldn't be surprised if he had his pick in mind the whole time.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
feel like he's a very calculated person.
Definitely. I definitely get that vibe from him as well. I actually believe he was going to go and select Punicorn. So that Punicorn snipe from Anonymous, I think that might have made him rethink his whole strategy because something like that
Throws the game
completely,
off.
yeah, exactly. You kind of have your ideas set in your mind. You're like, I want to get this person, this person, this person. At least for your first pick, you kind of have your ideas. If your first pick goes off, it throws everything off there.
Oh yeah, and that's why I was saying earlier. You have to have a second plan. I mean, none of these players are guaranteed. So the minute your plan A goes out the window, if you don't got a plan B, you're stuck on the balls of your feet. You don't really know what you got to do.
Okay.
Still hasn't picked yet.
Oh,
I
there you go.
think I
He
think
he.
he's gotten thrown off.
No, no, no. He was trying to figure out how to add his team. There was the one team. Apparently, the
Oh,
one team I didn't let everyone tag, so I think he can tag now. I just checked all the teams. All right. Try again. Yeah, that was my bad. There you go. He should be able to tag
oh,
his team now. So he should be able to select his pick here.
perfect. Let's see who Chipmunk picks.
Yeah, so Ego's still on the top of the board, looking at
Meow
number 2.
Boy.
Ooh, Meow Boy
Meow
J.
Boy.
Okay.
Wow.
So he's going a little bit down the list there. 1167 down to 15th spot for Meow Boy J. So
Very,
that's what he's
very
starting off.
interesting pick.
Yeah, it's interesting. He goes all the way down the list. There's a whole bunch of people ahead, but he's decided to take his luck elsewhere and go down. Very
I'm
interesting.
I like that. It's a different pick, and different is interesting. I'm curious to see how he does.
Yeah, for sure. Meow Boy J. Okay, so nice pick for Chipmunk Man there. That is gonna put the Rooks on the clock here. This is Cajun Miller. Cajun Miller's team here, the Rooks.
Cajun Miller. I'll tell you what. I don't know about Cajun Miller, but I like me some Cajun food.
Like he's a Cajun Miller. Fair enough. I'm sure he probably does too.
Probably, if I was a betting man, I would say so.
Probably. So yeah, we'll have to see what he decides to do. So Cajun, a non-playing GM for this season, but there's still a lot of room on this roster for him. So he's making his first pick. Still a lot of people all the way up there, 1245 and upward, up to 1324.
You know,
I'm interested to see what kind of route he's gonna go with here. I mean, we see we have all those people down below, but I would assume he's got to go for one of those top 13 people right there.
I would assume so. And he makes his pick triple A underscore 444.
Okay, nice. So another triple A, one of the triple A members, going there, 1306. So nice pick there for.
Wow. Yeah, that was a solid pick. Like you said, he picked one of the higher guys. Which I mean, at some point, I think you kind of gotta draw your attention towards the top of that list.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, it gets to a point, I mean, you might know some of these people down lower, but, sometimes you got to take a little bit of that risk. I mean, I'm sure Cajun's probably talked to AAA or 444 there, and, I'm sure he's probably got some communication going on and
Oh yeah.
decided to take him out there. So, this is going to put the Wyverns on the clock here. So, this is Naturalis' team, the Wyverns. He's also a couple of his affiliated teams include the Dragons and the Drakes. So Dragons for rival, Drakes for challengers. So it's going a little bit different names, which I kind of like. I kind of like spicing up. Never heard team names like that before. Same thing with Cajun too. Cajun's team names. It's a different style. I've never heard some teams like this, and I think it's really interesting that people are going out of their way and selecting or choosing different team names. I think it spices everything up a little bit more.
Absolutely. I love the creativity that we have. It's not It's not super simple names. We have a good variety of names that these GMs have picked, and it's cool to see that.
Yeah, for sure. So looking at all the prospect team names, we can see we got Wyverns, Rooks, Velocity, Viper, Vikings, Milan, Tora, and Origin. Actually, something a little bit of I guess I don't know. This could definitely be a Nemesis trivia question if you were to make Nemesis trivia questions. But my teams are actually all the highest alphabetical order. I was really surprised. I mean, obviously for rival and challenger, with Arrival and Ascension, you got the A names. They're probably going to be the top, unless someone else
Yeah,
picked an A name. But you get Origin over here. It's an O. I was figuring, oh, for sure someone's got to go higher alphabetically. But I don't know. Origin, the highest team name. We got 4 teams of the V's in Prospect. It's just kind of crazy to think about.
yeah. I no, it's interesting to see the V's. It's interesting to see your, it just like I said, all um it's creative, it's unique. I was not expecting this a week ago or 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and it shakes things up, it keeps things fresh, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I mean, like you talked about, going back to 2 weeks ago, we've grown so much in the past 2 weeks, and we can't thank you all enough. Everyone in the chat here and everyone who supported us in this time, because we were gonna start the league with 6 teams, 72 players, but we've grown so much in the past 2 weeks. From all your guys' support that we had to expand to 8 teams, which is just something crazy to see, and we're super excited for this, and I'm sure you guys are as well. So once again, I gotta thank you guys. Gotta give this shout out to chat and everyone who
Yeah,
supported us so far.
big round of applause to all you guys. I mean, it's you guys that are making this possible. And I'm super excited to see what each and every player has to work with. This is going to be a great season. I'm excited to watch the streams. I'm excited to be a part of the streams, and may the best team win. Really.
For sure, for sure. Couldn't say it better. So we're just waiting on Naturalis here. Um, okay, so he is making sure of his choice here. I just messaged him to make sure he's still here. So, he's got to be. I just got to be on. I got to be on top of people.
Oh yeah.
It's just how it is. But yeah, still a lot of people up here that are kind of high up. I've seen a. Well, I mean, I have seen all these people, from adding them to the sheets and whatnot. But I've definitely seen a lot of these people typing in Discord. I've seen a couple of these people like relaxing. I've seen him up there. He's still chilling up there. Possible
Yep.
pick at 1276. Obviously we still have Ego 1324. Still a champ 2 peak there. And obviously that's got to be intriguing to some of these GMs. You see some people up there. That we take the reason we take the peak MR is that's kind of like your skill cap. Like that's where you can that's your potential at the moment. From what we know and the best we can figure out the potential. So
Yeah.
there's still some people there that champ 2 potential up there.
I'm honestly I'm surprised to see that we still have 3 players in the 1300 plus range. I wasn't expecting this, especially with some of the lower picks that we've had. But these GMs have something up their sleeve. Maybe they know something we don't, and it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out.
Yeah, I'd like to think that a lot of these GMs probably, like you said, they had a plan up their sleeve, and I'm sure they messaged a lot of these people. I know I messaged a couple people, trying to figure it out and see kind of like who's available when and who's available where, if they'd be interested. And I'm sure a lot of these GMs, it's not necessarily all about MMR. That's the thing, it's all you got to figure out the chemistry too is a huge part of it.
Oh yeah. So it looks like Naturalis did select Wrestling Roots.
Okay.
Wrestling Roots is his player one pick.
All right, so yeah, he also is going to have a pick very shortly. So we've got actually now we are going to have the final pick. I probably should just copy paste this now. I'm typing now on the clock so many times. Probably should copy paste it at this point.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put Jacob on the clock here.
And
Jacob.
I'm just gonna go ahead and select instantly. I
Ooh, he's
relaxing.
going for relaxing. All right, relaxing is going to Jacob,
Yep.
Jacob and Tora. So That we add that onto here onto the ticker. So yeah, Jacob going for relaxing.
I
What was your reasoning behind that? If you don't mind me asking, just because I have you here, get a little bit of the insight before we head to
oh
round
yeah.
number two.
Well, at the very beginning, as the stream was starting, and I was looking, I've been looking a little bit in the Discord, but I see his top MMR 1276. My guess is that you know, since he hit 1276, he's probably progressed into or roughly around that 1300 range. That's a high MMR as is, so I think he's probably progressed to 1270 or over 1276 past then. Um, and I feel like he'd be a very competitive player.
For sure, definitely. All right, so that is going to do it for round number one. So round number one's all set up there. So I'm going to switch it over. I already switched it over to round number two. So Jacob gets his back-to-back picks. I'm going to put you back on the clock, Jacob, for your
All right.
second pick in a row, the ninth overall pick.
This is I've had my eye on a few players, a few of which have been selected, and a few of which are still on the board. But all things considered, I am going to select Big Possum.
Big
Big Possum
Possum.
as my number two player.
Okay, okay. So 1223, going down a little bit, leaving those 1300s still. Going
Yeah,
into Big Possum.
my thought process on that is similar thing. Obviously lower in the 1200s, but I'm guessing that Big Possum has probably progressed since then. I know a lot of these players are hungry. A lot of these players want to get to that top spot in the MMR. So I feel that and at least if anything else, they're both Relax and Big Possum are close in MMR or somewhat close. So having that closeness in MMR is probably going to be close play style, all that. So that's all the thought process that went into that player, and relaxing a little bit too. I've been kind of backtracking a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. Looks like you got some decent thought
Oh,
process. Okay, so that Lancer
that
is
doesn't work, I don't think.
that's already can't do that. Can't do that. That's a no can do. That's a oh
Blazing Biscuit.
Blazing and Biscuit. Okay, so he's going back up here, 1317. So one of the higher MMRs. So I mean, honestly, that's probably a decent move by Naturalis there to go back up and grab one of those champ twos that are still up there.
Oh yeah.
And make sure I spell Blazin's name right. I think I did. Perfect. I got it. All right, so Blazing Biscuit going to the Wyverns. So we're starting to get two-player rosters going on now. We already have Anonymous and Puny as one of the rosters, but now we're starting to get into that second round to where teams are starting to look for who's going to be that second player that we can get onto our team. I know you've already done such a thing to get two people on your team, but now it starts to get to the point where these two people, this is starting to build your core,
Oh
for
yeah.
your team. So
Now let me ask you this. You're coming up in the picks here. Do you have your eye on another specific player?
yeah, so I have a couple players in mind. A lot of the people I actually had in mind were a little bit lower because I figured it'd probably go down the list, and then as we get to the bottom, we get a little bit more spread out. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to have more options down there because as the farther you go down, the more likely that those people are gonna get picked eventually. So I have my eye on about. I've probably talked to like four or five people still down in that 1163 to 935 range that I've
Okay.
talked to and had communications with. So I've got a couple people in mind down there. There's one in specific I know I want to draft for sure, but I'll have to see. I'll have to see what comes up. So I do have some people in mind down there, and obviously it might be hard to turn away some of these champ twos that are still up here. So I've definitely got that in mind as well.
That's exciting. As we look back, we see that the Rooks go ahead and select AAA Antonio
Ooh,
for their second pick.
so Cajun going back to back with the triple A's. He's got two of
I'm
them.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
I think there might be a pattern here. Well, I mean, that's honestly a good strategy, though. You get people who have chemistry already built into the league, and you get them on the same team. He's already got something going that way.
Absolutely. This is almost like a game of tic tac toe. I'm curious to see if any of the other GMs go ahead and split, try and split his strategy up or not.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think who the last AAA member is. I think there's one more. I can't remember if he got drafted or not yet. Someone might have to tell us in chat though. I don't know. There's no AAA members that are listed in their Discord name that we
Yeah,
have written down, but I'm pretty sure there's at least one more. So I mean, I'm sure Cajun, he had his eye on them, and he was gonna try to get him if he could. But
absolutely.
we'll have to see. Like you said, the tic tac toe game. Will someone, decide to go for the steal to split up that
Yeah.
chemistry? That could definitely be a strategy. And maybe it might even be a move for a bargaining chip, for a trade. Be like, hey, I'll trade you, but it's gonna cost you a little bit if you want to get that AAA chemistry.
I,
It's
I
definitely
can see
possible.
that.
It's
It's
definitely
gonna be an
possible.
exciting one. I'm looking at late round 3 into round 4. That's where things are really gonna start to get interesting. I am looking forward to seeing that.
For sure. And we just got the next pick in. Chipmunk is gonna go ahead and draft Psychonautic. Hopefully I spelled
Psycho, no?
hopefully I spelled that right. Did I spell that right? I think I did. I think I did. All right, so Psychonautic there is going to go to Viper, the second pick for them. So Chipmunk now with his roster, Meowboy J and Psychonautic, looking pretty solid there. And that is gonna put me back on the clock. So now I've got some options to consider here. It's
Okay,
it's it's
okay.
it's tough. It's tough being the streamer here because I had to do all my research beforehand and kind of adapt. That's why I've talked to so many people.
Yeah.
Um, so let's see what we got. Yeah, there's definitely a couple people I've seen down here that I know. It's kind of a little bit of a game though. There's one person I know I want to select that's a little bit lower down here, but will they get drafted by that time? That's kind of the risk here that I'm running
Yeah,
into.
I mean, eventually, I feel like as players get picked and there's less of an option, I feel like people are going to start, picking randomly, and it could mess up a lot of these GMs' decisions, a lot of their plan.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I've got a couple people in mind here, and obviously there's still these 1300s on the board. Um, ooh, dude, it's gonna be hard to pass on these 1300s. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I think I might have to though. I have someone in mind a little bit lower down. All right, I am gonna make my selection here. Just a second. Let me type it out so that no one gets any spoilers. All right, so I am going ahead and I am going to go down the list a little bit. I'm going to select RZ Born as
RZ
my as
Born,
my
okay.
second pick. So I guess a little known fact, and maybe I could have waited a little bit longer, but that's actually my little brother. I'm gonna try not to be a little. I'm gonna be hard on him. I'm gonna be hard on him on my roster, but I've been talking with him about this league for the past couple of months. He knew a lot about it as well, and he's obviously really excited to participate. So I couldn't pass up the opportunity to get him on my team. So I had to make sure that happened. So I'm gonna go ahead pick him as my second overall pick for my team. So
I think that is awesome. Since the beans are being spilled a little bit, Big Possum is actually my little brother. So,
oh, okay.
maybe we'll have a little bit of a GM battle between our little brothers, huh?
Okay, okay, I like it. I like it. Nice, nice. Well, there we go. With the GM's a little bit biased, but
Hey,
it is what it is. I mean, it's off. It's always a little bit easier to communicate with your siblings too. And obviously, I know at least for me, I'm gonna be a little bit harder on him because he is my brother.
oh
I gotta, I
yeah. I
gotta,
mean,
I gotta be hard on him.
for mine, if he doesn't pull the chip for my team, I mean, he doesn't eat dinner. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that.
You gotta work for your food. That's how it is. That's what we evolved to here.
Oh, absolutely. As we wait for Vikings to make their pick, let's go ahead and get Anonymous in here and see what his thoughts are.
What's going
Anonymous, how you doing?
Oh, hello.
What's going on?
Nothing much. Just got back from doing an interview.
Nice, nice. It seems like you got your picks already planned out. You got almost three members on your roster here. How is the draft shaped up so far for you?
Pretty good. Just trying to hope that some of the other teams aren't looking at some of the players that I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's always that balancing act. You're trying to. That's kind of what I was going for there. That's the reason why I dropped down a little bit. I have some other people a little bit higher up that are actually still on the board that I have in mind, but I wanted to drop down a little bit. Make sure you get those picks. You never know what people are gonna do, especially in this first season. We're all kind of new to each other, and we don't know, what everybody's gonna do GM wise. So it's always a little bit interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, late round 3 and round 4, we're really going to see some true colors. Plans are going to get destroyed. I have my eye on my last two players now. Whether that is going to remain or not, I don't know. But a lot of these people are going to get taken up, and I feel like we're going to have to change our minds quick.
For sure. Definitely have to see as it goes. Yeah, that's usually how it happens. It's gonna get spicy in the last couple rounds. So we'll have to
Oh yeah,
see how it turns out. So we're waiting on Vikings here. Give Hypernova a little bit more time. We can take a look at some of these rosters that we got going on here. So far we got the Wyverns consisting of Wrestling Roots and Blazing Biscuit. And then we got Rooks going with the two AAA members, Antonio and 444. Two members there. Velocity, we got Anonymous here, also taking Punicorn. So they got two members on the roster. Then we've got Viper, consisting of Meowboy J and Psychonautics. So that's your Western Conference right there. A little bit of a reminder about how our playoff systems work. There's a little bit of an update since we expanded to 8 teams. So we are going to have the top 2 teams in each conference, Western and Eastern, the top team in each conference. So one from the Western, one for the Eastern. Those top 2 automatically make playoffs, and then we're going to have 2 open spots for the whole league. So the second or the 2 best records after the conference winners will also make the playoffs. So it's a little bit interesting. It's not just 2 and 2. We had a little bit of spice to it. So conference winners, you get that auto lock into the playoffs, and there's 2 essentially wild card positions for the next best teams. So should be interesting to see once playoff time rolls by. But that was just a little bit of a side note. See Vikings. Oh. Vikings went with Case for the first pick. They're on the clock right now, so waiting on Hypernova, see if he comes back and can make his pick. Otherwise, Velan also with the first overall pick, Velan. Yeah, that's the one thing that's tough about that first overall pick. You get that number 1 pick, and you're all the way back down to 16 now with the snake draft. Because it's the first season, we figured the snake draft is probably the fairest way we could do it. So Velan, they're waiting it out. Had to go from 1 to 16, but fortunately for him, there's still a lot that are left.
Yeah, I I know Hypernova was not in earlier, and that's why we ended up giving him Case. So it looks like he may get Ego if he doesn't show up in time. Now, again, this may have been his strategy all along. I mean, a couple higher MMR players. I mean, the rule is highest MMR player, right? That's available.
I believe so, but I'm gonna have to check out that. I'm talking to Derek right now. That actually might end up being an issue. I know for the first round we did highest. We might have to alternate highest, lowest,
highest, lowest. That would make sense. That would make sense.
Yeah, we might have to go highest, lowest because Derek just said the same thing that I was just about to say. It's highest, lowest because if we give him the highest MMR every round, he is not going to be able
very stacked.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to fit into his MMR cap, which is the thing. So that's the other thing that GMs have to keep in mind as they're making their picks. You have to stay within your range of MMR. So the 4 players in your team add up to a certain amount of MMR, and you can't go over that cap room. Otherwise, I mean, just can't.
That is very true. I that's something that I was completely not paying attention to, and we may have to give him the bottom player, which that would make things interesting for his team. I'd be curious to see how their season goes.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll give it a sec here, see if Hypernova is heading back. I messaged him already, but doesn't appear like he's here. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to end up doing here. A little bit of a switch up there, but we were expecting all the GMs to be here. Thinking of something probably just came up. Hopefully, hopefully it's nothing too serious for Hypernova, but we are gonna have to make that selection for him. So Decent is going to go to Vikings.
Congratulations, decent.
So yeah, Decent is actually, I mean, that is honestly one of the good picks. He was definitely someone I was looking at. I'm kind of disappointed that it had to go this route because Decent, although he's the lowest MR player, he was someone I was looking at specifically. I'll say that because I've seen how active he is with the six mans. He's done a lot of great recruiting for us. Which we really appreciate, and he's definitely an active guy, and I'm expecting, that's honestly, for auto picking here, that's probably the best case scenario you could get for Hypernova right there for getting a lower MR player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, Anonymous taking off. It's all right.
So let me update that then. So yeah, Decent is going to head to the Vikings for the 14th overall pick.
Up next we have Velocity. I'm looking to see what they pick for their second. I have my eye on, like I said, I have my eye on two players that I really want. So as time goes on, I'm really curious to see if they get taken up or not.
Definitely. Yeah, so this is the Velocity team once again led by, oh, this is actually Anonymous, I believe. Yeah, this is Anonymous. I almost
Hmm.
got the V names confused. There's too many V names. We got all the V names here. I keep thinking of I was going to say Chipmunk Man, but his is Viper, Venganza, and Vortex. He went with
Hmm.
the V's straight across for all three of his affiliated teams. But so Velocity is Anonymous. He's going for his third pick right now. So he's kind of, rounding out his roster here. He's got to make sure that with his next two picks, he fits under that MMR cap. So right now, he's got 2,110 remaining in his cap. So, that amounts to about, 1,000 MMR, give or take each. Maybe
Yep.
one person a little bit higher, one person a little bit lower. So, I'm expecting him to go somewhere around, that TSO Pit fan down to Primal and such. I'm expecting to go down that range,
That's
somewhere there.
really what he can do.
And I just made my pick. I just had to double check through everything to make sure that was all good for that third round or second round pick.
So yeah, Anonymous is gonna go with Quackbot.
Quackbot.
Quackbot is a great pick. I will definitely say that he was, again, another person I had my eyes on. I've talked to Quackbot. He's a great guy. I know him a lot. I've known him for a long time. I'm happy to see him in the league. So, what was your process there? You go with Quackbot for this one, Anonymous.
I played with him before with Hipster in another league. Seemed to work out well there, and then um, just hoping that it just carries over and then it helps lead to team victories there.
Sweet. Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
I think that's a great pickup there. So Quackbot heading over to Velocity. So Velocity's got 3 of their 4 already down and ready to go. So one more pick left for Anonymous. But now we put Valan on the clock. So Valan is looking to make their second selection, but they also now, as we have the snake draft going, they've got the last pick in round number 2, and then they will have the first pick in round number 3. So we're gonna have unique. He's really gonna have to think about what he wants to do here.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who he's gonna pick. I mean, he has a wide range from 1324 all the way down to 935. So the table's open. I don't know if one of his players that he had his eye on got sniped yet or not, but I mean, he still has a very wide range of player and talent that he has to pick from. So curious to see what he selects here.
And it looks like the pick is in. Unique is going to go ahead and select Arc for his second player. So he's going right in the middle there. He's going to pick up Arc for his second player, and that is going to do it for round number 2. So Velon, again, is going to be on the clock here as we head to round number 3. So Unique is, again, going to be put back on the clock. Let me put him back on the clock. So Unique back on the clock again.
I'm really curious to see who he picks for this third one. Like I said, as we get into round 3 and round 4, the pickings are slim. We're really going to have to be creative with who we have and to keep it under our MMR cap as well.
For sure. And he looks like he's going to jump up a little bit. He's going to go with Racket at 1196. So he jumps up a little bit there to pick him. But, now he's got 3 on his roster. So the second team with 3 on his roster there.
It's I'm curious to see what his what his cap is going to be, because I mean he doesn't have anybody super heavy. So I'm curious to see how much he's going to have to work with here at the end. He might be able to have free range.
Yeah, for sure. And that leaves him open to one of those top players that are still on the board. So next, it's going to put Velocity back on the clock. This will be Anonymous's last pick of the draft, since he has already drafted himself for the 4th pick, since he's a GM. So Anonymous, you are back on the clock.
While we're waiting on Anonymous, let me ask you, Austin. There's been a couple of players that you said you had your eye on, and they've been picked. Are you sweating over there? Are you nervous at all, or do you have some backup plans?
I do have some backup plans. I will say there are a couple people still on the board that I know I can take. At least, at the very minimum, there are 3 people that I still talk to, which is actually still pretty solid. But I know at least a good. I know a little bit about most of these people on here. So I think I can make a decently educated pick if I have to. If for some reason all 3 go off the board.
Okay, that's
my
exciting.
my pick has gone in.
All right, and Anonymous is gonna go with Justin. Justin, a nice pick. Actually, another person. I think Anonymous is just going for the people that I know. I didn't actually talk to Justin about drafting him, but I do know Justin. He is a pretty nice guy as well, from what I've seen. So Justin is going for Velocity, and that's gonna round out. Your roster, Anonymous. How are you feeling now that you've gone through and made all the picks for your roster?
I feel very confident in this team. We just gotta put in the practice, and then we will be able to rock and roll throughout the season.
Sweet, sounds good. Yeah, practice is going to be key, and with our drafts happening all this weekend, today, tomorrow, and Sunday, that gives everyone a week to prepare before opening day, which is March 23rd. So we still got a ways to go, and that gives these, especially these prospect league teams, they're going to have from tonight all the way until that Monday to practice and prepare with their teams. So a lot of time to build that chemistry.
Absolutely. Vikings on the clock. This is we're getting down to it. There's very few players left and very few picks left. I'm really curious to see what happens here.
All right, so yeah, Vikings on the clock. We'll give it a little bit. Maybe just maybe, Hypernova will pop up, and we'll see. Here, one sec.
So we are looking at Hypernova, as Austin just said. He hasn't been able to make his pick yet. Right now, he has a current MMR cap left of 2,365. So he has a little bit of range to work with, but if he doesn't show up, it's gonna get picked for him. I'm curious to see who he's gonna get. Would we go back to Ego then, or would we pick Primal?
We'd go back to the
Ego?
top then. So alternate top bottom. So Ego would go. Hopefully Hypernova. Message him again. Oh, he's online mobile. He's online mobile. He just got online.
Here we go. He heard that he got that bottom pick, and he wants to come in and change things around.
All right. Well, so Hypernova might just be here in time to make his pick, which is good. But this is going to give us a time while we'll let him ponder through that a little bit, and it gives us a little bit to talk about, what we've got so far. So yeah, Anonymous with 11 cap remaining. Pretty good job there. Keeping it nice and close to the cap. I like it. Only 11 MMR away from the cap. But yeah,
Um,
Velan, what are they looking at? Velan has room to go up to 1049 for their final pick. So when Velan comes back up, they've got from this will be Crazy Lunch on down to select through for their last pick. I mean, they are the last pick in the draft, so they are all the way down at 32nd. But that is the struggle of the number one pick. You know, you get the
Oh yeah.
first pick, you get the 16th and 17th, and then you get the 32nd. You know, so kind of it's a tough pick. You know, it's good to get that first pick, but it's also, you know, a tough spot to be in when you have to make a whole 4 team or 4 man roster like this.
Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
absolutely bittersweet. Looking at one of the players that would be in his selection in terms of MMR, Crazy Lunch. Somebody was saying in chat earlier, actually, that Crazy with a little bit of work can really pop off. So I'm
Mm.
curious to see who gets Crazy Lunch. You know, I'm not going to deny that I don't have my eye on him. Um,
Okay, okay.
but yeah, I'm curious.
He's trying to throw it out there. I like it. I like it.
I'm letting it be known.
Let it be known. He's got his eye on Crazy Lunch. All right. Well, we'll have to see. I think. Well, Hypernova. He went offline again, so I think this is unfortunate. He might just, you know, this is unfortunate. So I think we're gonna have to auto select again for him, which is unfortunate. I'm sure something came up that he wasn't able to answer. Usually Hypernova is really active, so I'm, you know, like I said, hopefully
It's
everything is okay.
it's super unfortunate that he gets the second MMR pick. Oh darn.
Yeah. Oh darn. Yeah.
Whatever will he do?
I know he's got the top pick and the second overall pick, and then he's got the bottom, which decent was also a really good pick. So this is kind of working out. This is kind of working out all right for Hypernova. So
Something I'm curious about is if he did have some other players else in mind, and if that is the case, how that's going to affect the season. Maybe he's going to want to trade these players away, and so I'm curious to see how that goes.
yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, if when you can't get your plan to work out, you know, sometimes trading is the, you know, the option that you got to go. So Vikings is down, and that is gonna, let me add ego to the ticker on the top here. So that is gonna bring Origin back on the clock. This is my team yet again, the 20th overall pick. So I have got some options here for sure.
Oh yeah,
Definitely got some options, a wide range of options. 935 all the way to 1307 for my options. Now, there were, like I said, there was a risk that I took to jump down to take my brother as a second overall pick, and honestly, I think that's also fortunate for me because the person that I was looking at for my next pick is actually still on the board. Uh,
oh,
so I'm gonna go. I have to put myself on the clock first, but I also have my pick ready to go. And give me a sec. Let me type this out here. I've got the idea of who I want to draft. So yeah, I am going ahead and I'm going to select RQNIN, assuming that's
okay.
Ronin, for my pick.
All right.
So I actually think I'm not too certain on this. You know, I didn't do it because of this. Ronin was one of the people I had my eyes on to potentially draft for my pick, but something in the back of my head just makes me think he's a AAA member. But
Okay.
you know, might have spiced things up. I think Cajun might be a little bit mad about that. He's in 2 picks now. So Cajun, if that was the case, I'm sorry. I had my eye on Ronin for a while. You know, we can make a deal. We can probably make a deal, Cajun. Can make a deal here. So,
Unfortunate.
I know, unfortunate. The reason I go with Ronin here for my pick is that I've seen him be pretty active in the 6 mans community. So he's definitely someone, you know, that I know is decently active. So that's kind of what I was looking for and when I was trying to figure out people to draft. So yeah, so that's gonna put Viper on the clock here. So that's my third overall pick. Teams are starting to get built here. The room is running out. So yeah, it's gonna put Viper on the clock. Chipmunk is making his third selection. Already got a roster of Meowboy J and Psychonautic, so we'll see what he's gonna do for his third round pick. I'm getting confirmation from Oss that is the other AAA guy. So
Oh,
Hey. So, are you planning to do some trading or?
I'm not sure. I mean, Cajun, when Cajun's pick comes up, I think, if he's watching the stream, that's going to be something he's going to keep in mind because I know Ronan was someone that I saw that was active that I want. So, if Cajun's thinking here, maybe make a trade, if that's the case, I'm gonna be that guy. It's gonna cost you a little bit, but if you make a good selection here and you're willing to trade, maybe we can discuss it a little bit, and maybe I'll allow the AAA team to come out for rooks.
Okay, this is exciting.
I know it's a little bit spicy here. I wasn't necessarily trying to go for that to cut off the AAA, but it kind of worked in that regard when I saw Ronan. I mean, maybe if he had the AAA in his name, in his Discord name, I would have known for certain. But I wasn't sure, and I saw he was active, so that's kind of what I was looking for.
Oh yeah. I. As players are getting scarce here, I'm starting to worry a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like the two picks that I want are going to get selected. Now maybe that's just me being a little bit oversensitive, but I'm worried. I'm worried. Um, I,
So you got three
uh,
three picks, until Jacob gets his last two selections. So you got the back to back here. So how many
yeah,
people did you say you had in mind? You said you had two players in mind.
I have two. Like I'm hungry. I want these two really bad. I feel like they're going to shape the team really well. Okay, and I have one backup, but I would really love these two players. I'm not gonna drop names. Okay,
He's got to
it
keep it
may
on the
or
down
may.
low.
Yeah, I really gotta keep it quiet here, but because I really don't want these sniped. Coming out with the competitive side of me, I really feel like these guys are gonna do good things for the team.
Hmm, okay. So we're waiting on Chipmunk here to see if any of Jacob's potential draftees are taken.
I'll have to fight somebody.
You have
I
to fight
swear I'll
someone.
fight somebody.
He's gonna fight someone. You heard it
want to
here,
drop the
folks.
mitts?
Oh yeah,
It's going down. Jacob is about to throw some hands with anybody who steals his draft picks. So
I mean,
no
Rocketman,
pressure.
you're trying to start some beefs with
Uh,
Cajun there too, taking the
uh,
last AAA member.
oh man, I wasn't trying to start beef, but I think it might have unintentionally come to me with my pick. So
that's how it always starts. It starts off as some unintentional beef, and then things get said. Next thing you know, Nemesis boxing becomes a thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. You never know. You never know. But so we're waiting on Chipmunk here. Oh, he's finally typing now. So there's a lot of room here. We still have a 1307. Vertanio is still up there, and someone that's possibly to be selected. Fred Faze 1267. I think the tough thing is these people that are getting passed on. People maybe not they don't necessarily know too much about these people, and that's some of the risk here. And I'm sure a lot of these GMs are messaging people, seeing if they're active, if they respond quickly, maybe to select them, because that's going to be the big thing. And it looks like that pick's going to go in. Chipmunk and Viper are going to take Vertanio
Okay.
for their third overall, or for their third pick for their team.
I think that was a good pick. I really do for the team. Uh, yes, it looks like it's going to be a good pick for for Viper. I am curious though to see how that 1307 is going to play with that 1167 and that 1069. That's something that's sitting on the back burner right now. How are they going to play together?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely something you got to keep in mind when you're drafting these people.
Oh yeah. That's something that I've been trying to be mindful of throughout all my picks. Hopefully that doesn't spoil anything for who I'm looking at potentially. But that's something I've been trying to be mindful of. I'm sure it is with you as well, and same with Anonymous. these guys have to have some sort of chemistry. Obviously, the AAA team has probably the best chemistry, but you gotta have similar MMR players.
Yeah, for sure. And
Mm-hmm.
Cajun now is going to be on the clock here, so this is going to be a spicy pick. Well, Cajun has actually messaged me. Yeah, he's a little bit upset about it. I mean, he's not super
Okay.
upset, but he messaged me. I felt bad. I told him sorry. I told him sorry about that, but you know,
Do
sometimes
you
you just got to
wanna
do what you got to do here. So I'm going to be
do you wanna share
curious.
the note to the class here? Or?
Share the DMs of the class. I think I'm going to keep those on the down low, but
Okay.
All right, all right.
um, we'll have to see. He's trying to. Let's see. Apparently, he's not. Let me see. One sec. It's just. Okay, he's trying to. I think he might see. I think he might see it. I know he knows. He knows who he's drafting here. He was just trying to find the tag in the Discord. It's a little bit different than what he applied with. Okay, so Cajun, I see who he's going to select here. So
Oh
we're getting
boy.
down to it. So we might, this might be, I'm not saying for certain, but this might be a trade possibility. So Cajun, I think he knows that this might be a trade possibility, and he messaged me about this. So Cajun is going to go ahead for his third pick. He's going to select Fred
Oh,
Faze for
Okay.
his third pick.
all right.
So he was up there at 1267. So at least a mid champ one type player for his peak. So Cajun's gonna go ahead and pick him up.
This is the part where I start stressing a lot. Cajun was one of my players. I feel betrayed. I'm at a loss of words, and I don't know how I'm going to continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, the beef has started already.
It's over. I take
Yes.
Cajun's player. Cajun takes Jacob's player, and now we got a love triangle going on here.
I
So
really wish I knew one of your players, Austin, because I would snipe him, and then we could all do a little round robin trading.
Ooh. Well, I mean, there are some people on the board. I mean, maybe just maybe we might be able to do some, some round robin trading. There are
Yeah.
a couple people still there.
Looking at the chat real quick, Red Walter asks if anybody wants to be bugged until he has a friend. Red, enter my DMs. I need one, especially after that pick. I'm hurting for certain, and I need somebody.
There we go. There you go. Jacob's DMs are open. He's looking for some comfort now.
Looking for a booty call.
Oh no. Oh
No, no,
no.
of course not.
Of course not.
Professional.
Of course. Zone him
I
back
picked
in here.
myself up.
Yeah, he's zoned himself back in here. So yeah, we're
Who
on the
said
sec-
that? That was Jacob Bar Illusions who said that.
Can confirm Red Walter is in my DMs.
Oh boy, it's going down, boys.
So we have some beef, now we got some sliding into the DMs. Got some all around plays here.
Yeah, this is getting interesting out here. The draft is going crazy. So,
Only the Prospect League draft too. We still got Challenger and Rival drafts over the weekend.
I know, dude, and those are the higher ranks, and that's where people start to get intense. I feel like this is kind of like the entry league. Prospect league is our lowest league. And there's already some beef going down. Some slight beef, some DM sliding. All that sort of stuff. Who knows what the Challenger League and Rival League drafts are going to have in store for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the Challenger League draft, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and then Sunday evening at 5 p.m. Eastern, we'll be hosting the Rival League draft as well. So stay tuned for that. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys follow the channel so you get notified anytime we go live. Make sure you guys join the Discord down below if you guys are interested in participating in our league play. Still always time to sign up. If you guys sign up now, you can get added as a free agent if you're a Prospect League player, or you can even get added to the draft pool if you sign up before the drafts for Challenger and Rival. So go check that out. Description for that is in the panels below. But back to the draft here, Wyverns are coming out with their pick, and we got Control Alt Elite is going off the board here. A little bit lower.
What
I
a
like the
name.
name. I like the name.
As do I.
Solid pick there. Is that one of the guys that you were looking at?
Me? No, no. I think that he's a great player, but no. All bets are off at this point, man. All bets are off.
All right, so So with that, we are on the last pick for round number 3. Jacob is gonna have his back-to-back to round out his roster, so he's gonna have to think about this. Make sure they both fit under the MMR cap. Still got a
Yeah,
good
I
amount of room here.
actually,
Still got a good amount of
I'm,
room there, 21, 26. But gotta keep that
yeah.
in mind when you're selecting these last couple players.
Yikes. I've never felt this much anxiety in my life.
It's intense out here. Oh wait, I gotta
Yeah.
let me put you on the clock before we go anywhere. I know you already got your ideas. Let me make it a formality.
Um,
Jacob is now on the clock for the final pick of round number 3.
man, I am sweating like a stuck pig right now. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. Um, man. Okay. Well, I might as well go ahead and do it. I'm not. I don't feel I don't feel bad about this. I feel extremely confident in my pick of Crazy Lunch.
Crazy lunch. Okay, he was hyping him up earlier. Crazy lunch.
Oh,
Crazy lunch with
Um,
the pick there. I like it. I like it.
yeah, I feel extremely confident. I'm kind of going a little bit off of somebody in the chat, but I feel good about Crazy. Maybe I'm just hungry, but you know what I'm saying. I feel good.
Oh, dude, he's hyped in the chat right there. You got some all caps going on.
yeah.
There
He's
we
happy.
go.
That's a good pick. Sounds like you got yourself someone who's excited about the league. So,
Crazy. I'm excited to work with you, man. I really am. We're gonna do good things.
all right, there you go. So that is the end of round number 3. So Crazy Lunch goes to Jacob for his third pick. Yeah, dude, he is hyped. Just something insane in training. As you said, I was picked. Well, there we
See,
go. It's the power of the pick right there. So
we have something going on right now, man.
Destiny, man.
it's
Just destiny right there.
it's destiny. I like it. I like it. So with that, we head into round number 4, and Jacob is going to be making his last pick of the draft. Anonymous already made his, so we're starting to round out the teams now. We're looking at the cap room. Jacob's still with 11-12 remaining in his cap. Oh, this is
Yeah.
I can hear the stress in the sigh there.
Oh yeah, I'm dripping a sweat. I probably smell bad, and I the stress on my face is nothing to be compared to. I'm scared, but I've been looking at one particular player this whole time, and I've kept his name silent,
okay.
and he is still up. So I am
Ooh.
going to go ahead and grab him as fast as possible before I lose all the liquid in my body. Can I get?
Go for it. You
Can
are
I,
on the clock. You can go right away.
I'm trying to type out his name. Kind of having trouble. Kind of having trouble. Um, there it is, right there. I will be selecting. I don't even know how to say it. TJ. I'm just gonna go with TJ.
TJ.
TJ Yokels there. I believe that's probably. So TJ Yokels is gonna go for Jacob's final pick of the draft.
I'm gonna be real with you. I had my eye on him. He was, for some reason, I don't know, but for some reason he was catching my eye before anybody had picked anybody. I was looking at him. I was like, man, I kind of want him. I don't know why, but I have a good feeling.
All right,
You know,
not bad, not bad. So TJ is going to Tora, which is gonna put us on to back to Wyverns are gonna be up here on the clock. So put them on the clock. This is Naturalis' final pick of this roster. So yeah, something of note here as well is we're gonna have to look a little bit into this, but I think because of what happened, I think it was probably due to the randomness of Hypernova getting 2 of the top picks. It looks like that TSO Pitfan and LFT Juggling are kind of stuck here with the caps that are remaining. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of discussion about what we're gonna do. But I think we're gonna let the draft play on for now, and then the last 2 teams, Velan and Vikings, we'll have to see what we're gonna decide to do about that.
so I'm going to ask This has been quite the stream, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to ask that Anonymous steps in for me. I have just been informed that somebody tried to rob my car
Oh,
right outside my
Oh,
house.
oh my goodness.
So
Oh my goodness.
if I can step away, I'll try and get back before the stream is over. But time to go catch a robber.
Okay, stay safe out
good,
there.
good
Yeah,
luck with that
absolutely.
one.
Good luck to all the GMs. Good luck to all the players, and I look forward to my team. I'll be messaging each and every one of you shortly, probably as soon as I'm done with this. Um, Hopefully, I can get back though. Thank you guys, and I'll return shortly.
All right, stay safe. See ya.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
All right, so very interesting. We got all the turns of events out here, guys. My
Yeah.
goodness, wow! This draft has had a little bit of everything, and it looks like the Wyverns picks is in as this is all going down. So Neef is going to go to the Wyverns at 990. So he's going to head over to the Wyverns pick there, and that is going to put Rooks back on the clock. Wow. What a turn of events right here. It's been crazy.
Yeah. You can see who was it? Derek dropping the Monka S when you said that.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Hopefully everything's all right with Jacob. Hopefully maybe just someone bumped into his car or something, or the alarm was just going off. Hopefully no one got anything out of there. But
Yeah.
anyways, let's get back to the draft here. So there's still a couple picks left on here. Yeah, we're kind of in a tough spot at the moment. I think, you know, I don't think it's, I mean, necessarily. Well, I mean, I guess it is. I guess it is our fault. We will take the blame a little bit here for two people not being able to fit into the cap room, but yeah, because I think there's just going to be a lot of extra cap remaining. I think that's what's going on. Is why there's an issue here. Yeah, there's a lot of like extra cap on each one of these teams, and that's kind of the issue. Teams didn't really go all the way to the end. But yeah, like I said, we'll discuss it. We'll see what we're gonna do about Valon and Vikings and how we're gonna get LFT juggling and TSO Pit Fan involved in the league. But yeah, so we're waiting on our Rooks. Rooks is gonna go ahead and select Kairos as their pick.
Ooh.
All right, so not bad pick. So Rooks is going ahead, and they're going to take Kairos. So yeah, Wyverns. I forgot to update the ticker here, but Wyverns, they selected. Who did they just select? They selected Neef. So Wyverns select Neef, and then Kairos is heading to Rooks. So let me drop that in there, and that is going to put Viper on the clock here yet again for their final pick.
Yep. Also, Redwater, I don't know if you're reading chat or not, but he hops in and he goes, "Whoever got robbed, beat that robber. Excited to hear your WWE debut."
we did talk about throwing hands. Jacob is getting prepared. He's not messing around.
Yeah.
He's not messing around.
And then he also gave a suggestion about raising the cap a little bit, potentially to account for it. That's will be all discussed, and we will try to find a reasonable solution for this mix-up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix-up on our part. I don't want to blame anything, but Hypernova getting two of the top picks might have messed with it a little bit. We expected it to kind of, you would think it just goes right down the board. For the most part, people select the highest MMR players, but Hypernova got the two highest MMR players in the draft, which kind of messes things up. So we're gonna discuss it. We're gonna figure out the best solution for Valon and for Vikings. But as for now, we've got two people left in the draft that can be selected for tonight. So it's down between Muffin Dealer and Primal. So Primal, I know, has been pretty active. I've also talked to Muffin Dealer. So we'll see what Chipmunk's going to decide to do here. He's got two potential picks. I think he can select both of them to stay underneath his cap. He definitely can. Let's see what he's going to decide to do. If he's going to go for Muffin or if he's going to go for Primal. Oh, he's going down and he is selecting Primal, one of our moderators that recently got added on.
Definitely a good pick there. You definitely want the most active people on your roster and the people who can perform the best all together around.
for sure. And something of note, Primal, one of our mods, just got recently added on. So that's a upstanding community member, obviously. Good guy from what we know. And he's also EU, which pulls a little bit of factor. Now I'm sure Chipmunk was probably trying to message him about it, but I think he might have known he's EU. I'm not sure if he did know that, but Primal is EU. I know that because he's talked about it in chat, and he's telling me he had to go to bed before the stream. But without any further ado, let's keep this draft going. We've actually got, with everything that's going on here, we got the final pick in the draft coming up here. Just with how the state of how the draft is. So for Vikings, Evilon, so Unique and Hypernova, we'll talk to you guys. We're gonna try to find something accommodating for everyone. That doesn't completely mess up the league and the caps. Like we said, I think is probably an issue of the second MMR, the first and second MMR players going to the same team, which probably mess up the caps just a little bit. So we'll definitely look into that and we'll let you guys know what we decide to do. So LFT Juggin and TSO Pit fan, if you're watching the stream, just know we've got a place for you. Don't worry, we will sort this all out. But I guess that kind of leaves one pick for me. And actually, the funny thing about this is someone I talked to, and I was actually wanted to draft in Muffin Dealer. So I'm going to go ahead and with essentially the final pick here, I am going to select a Muffin Dealer for Origin, and that is going to round out my team for the draft. So yeah, like I said, for Velon and for Vikings, we will sort this out a little bit later. We're probably going to talk a little bit after this and figure out what exactly we're going to do, and we're going to figure it out. So yeah. Other than that, I think that's pretty much going to do it for the draft. What do you have anything to add about how the draft went, Anonymous?
I think that the draft went really well, actually, today. Like, you got some heartbreaks with Cajun and Jacob. We got some good jokes around in chat. We got some good DM sliding from Redwater there. I see ya. And
Jacob got his car robbed.
Yeah.
We got some Nemesis Fight Club going on out here. Jacob's fighting off some robbers right now. Had to leave the stream, go fight off some robbers and whatnot. But yeah, I think overall, I also agree this draft went pretty well. I gotta give the sellout pitch here, guys. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys follow the channel, turn on those notifications so you guys get notified anytime we go live. We are hosting League Play. If you guys don't know what this is our draft for League Play, which is hosted Mondays and Wednesdays. There will be streams for those, and we also are going to have Saturday Night Rocket League, 2 scheduled games on Saturday nights. So we are going to have at least 3 streams a week for you guys coming at you for all 3 of our leagues. So yeah, definitely stay tuned. Definitely follow if you haven't already. Down below are also the panels, or on the side, wherever they are located. You can find those. The one that says Discord, you can go click there, verify yourself in the Discord, sign up for League Play if you guys are interested. If you're a Prospect League type player, anyway, from Diamond 1 to Champ 2, you can go sign up, get put as a free agent, and see what's happening with that. Otherwise, we take any ranks from Diamond 1 all the way to Grand Champ Plus. You could be, 2,000 MMR. We actually do have a 2,100 MMR player in our rival league, which is kind of crazy to think about. So we are open to pretty much any ranks, Diamond 1 and up, who are looking for that extra competitive experience. If you guys haven't already, go check out that Discord, go verify yourselves, go sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is our inaugural season, so obviously there's a lot to learn in this first season that we're doing here, but so far I'm really liking the way that things are going. I'm really excited to see where this takes us. So yeah, I think other than that, that's gonna do it for us today. But come back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We are streaming the Challenger League draft. That is Champ 2 up to low GC. You're not gonna want to miss that. We had some crazy stream today, like we just talked about. So hopefully tomorrow stays as crazy, if not crazier. And yeah, that's gonna do it for us. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later.